Kumadore, thank you for joining us. You had the Honourable Member of Parliament for Karaga there, Dr. Amin Adam, and he comes in to also bring another dimension to the calls for investigation. He talks about a comprehensive parliamentary inquiry. The President has also indicated a full and transparent investigation into the cause of this crash. How will these two work together? I mean, whether there has to be the consideration of a comprehensive parliamentary inquiry, how does that fit into the full-scale, transparent investigation the President talks about?
No, definitely, it's an accident. It might be, there are several ways of looking at it. For investigation bodies, civil aviation is interested in investigating this matter. The military is interested in investigating this matter. Ghana police is interested in investigating this matter. And the BNI would definitely investigate this matter. And the outcomes of their investigations will be discussed at the National Security Council meetings or at the Joint Intelligence Committee meetings. And that is one useful way of looking at it, so that the lessons that will be learned and the outcome of the investigations can be communicated to the President. Setting up a parliamentary inquiry into it and setting up all other committees will be for the fanfare, or will be to the broader scale of Ghanaians getting to see what happened publicly and on open television. And I think that is the fun side of it. But for we as investigators, we have started the investigation right from the day, right from the hour, right from the minute the news broke out that the helicopter lost radar. From the radar, then has fallen down onto the abyss or wherever it fell. And I think we need to look at it from different angles. So I support all investigations, but even before the President announced an investigation, I can confidently confirm to you there has been a lot of movement from the security intelligence community, and there has been a lot of movement from the investigative agencies, and they are doing everything possible to put the dots together.
Well, but now it is also getting to know today, as confirmed by the President, that the flight data and the cockpit voice have all been retrieved. Mr. Kumadore.
Yeah, definitely. When it comes to the investigations, we are looking at about 4 different sides of it. The helicopter itself has become an object of investigation. So the helicopter will be analyzed prior to when it took off and what happened to the helicopter. Then again, we are looking at procedure and to see whether the standard protocols were followed. So that is another dimension of the investigation. Then the investigators will also look at the persona of the personalities on board. We want to find out whether somebody carried something untoward onto the flight. We want to find out whether the flight was shot down by some long-range ammunition within the circles, considering the nature of the galamsey activities and the reality or the harsh realities of what we are talking about. Then we also want to find out the crew members, who they are, whether they have some peculiar situations around them, who are their superiors, who are their subordinates, and where were they 3 days before the day, 1 week before the day, 3 weeks before the day, 3 months before the day. All these things will come into the investigations, and each of the components will make a meaning to the frontliners who are engaged in this investigation. The crime scene has become a major issue. I was worried when I saw individuals carrying parts of the helicopter home. I want to believe that the videos we are seeing and those individuals will be identified and they could be brought to book, or those parts could be taken away from them for scientific verification. Then again, after the last one I want to make on the investigation side is that I'm happy the bodies have been retrieved, and I am happy they have been transferred to Accra, and I am happy the police, the forensic team of the police and the crime team of the police are the ones on board to South Africa to ensure that DNAs are done to identify who is who in that regard before the 15th day for the final day of the burial service government has proposed. So that is where we are for now. This investigation is important, and all the skillful persons in all the investigative agencies, We are not talking about amateurs here. We are talking about full-blown investigators. They will get to the field because I know certain people who are private investigators who are also in the field, making sure that we put our heads together and get this thing done.
And a very important point you raise about the scope of the investigation, taking into consideration not just the events of yesterday, but a day or two before, 1 week before. All of that will be of interest to the investigators.
Yeah, definitely, yes. We want to find out exactly what happened, the crew members in particular. Then everybody on board. There are various scenarios here. It could be somebody smuggled something into the aircraft. It could also be that somebody shot the aircraft. It could also be it's an attack within the peculiar area they find themselves. Such aircraft, the way they are designed, has the flexibility and adjustment to fly very high when they are instruments. But when they are being moved by manually, then it is the pilot that determines how low they could fly. And considering the fact that we are hearing similar news from Kenya and that of the US, we will want to find out who are the crew members, whether they have peculiar circumstances, whether they are the same people they will want to pick on this flight. I've heard one of the things that is coming up is this. You know, it was the president who is supposed to attend this program, and he passed on the baton to Omanye Boama. When you look at the civilian...
there hasn't been any clear official communication of the delegation of Omanye Boama. So I think that we'll double down on that, at least for now, you know, just for the sake of getting...
I agree.
Just
I
double
agree.
that for now.
The point I want to make is that
I was just
if you want to look at... Hold on. If you look at the civilian relationship to the military, Omanye Boama is the Minister of Defense. And when you take the president out and you take the vice president out, he's the next person. If you're looking at the civilian-military relationship. So therefore, the risk elements around him is high. And every trip he makes, whether by air, by land, I think the precautionary measures should be high. And I also think that the protective measures should be high. And the priorities given to his movement should be a little bit high. And that will also feature in the investigations, in some of the lines of questioning, and some of the analysis that will be done.
And beyond identifying, you hit the point right there about these persons in the community, the Brofiedu community, who out of ignorance took the parts of this crashed helicopter. They say they're going to keep it. Ibrahim spoke to them, they said, for keeping it for the memory of what happened. Beyond those who we captured on video, which we have made available, what should be done to get those who probably were not spotted to bring it back? An appeal or some search of a sort?
Yeah, I think a search can bring it out. That is one. Eyewitnesses can identify who did what. But I also think we need to manage the crime scene a bit more properly, because that whole area is a subject of investigation. The debris has become an object of investigation. All eyewitnesses will help in this particular investigation. And we cannot leave any stone unturned. I am heartbroken. My mother sees Muntala as her firstborn. She adores him. My junior brothers love him so much. Both Omanye Boama and Muntala are my brothers. These are people I speak to very often.
Right.
And I am very hard. And we want to put in everything we have learned for all these years in terms of strategic investigations. And we want to make sure we get the bottom of this. And I'm looking forward to the outcome of this result. And I'll be the first person to jump up to talk about it.
Right. And Mr. Kumadore, appreciate you for this. Thank you so much. I know this is just the beginning of a long